Uh, yeah, I want to kind of, since I got onto this mass suicide programming topic. Want to kind of discuss some relevance to why you don't want to play this the devil's game of chicken. And believe me, I played that game, and it's like the devil's biggest trick is I double dog dare you. And I mean, if you look at Adam and Eve, he's like, go ahead, eat the tree. You won't die. I mean, he tempted, but the fact that what was existed to be exploited was already in the person he tempts. And it's kind of like, you know, uh, it's even says, it's every man when he's drawn away by his own lust and is tempted. So in a way, it's partially us, but there's also this external force of kind of like that always is there, uh, nagging at you to do wrong. I mean, it feels that way, or just not care, just uh, do things to get in a situation where you're not caring, you're careless, and you're oblivious. Uh, it's pretty crazy. But I seen Rob Skiba. He did this video. I can't remember which video exactly it was. He's done a lot of presentations, but he uh, read this book where it's basically about the names of the people in the Bible, how each person's name, if you look at the letters and all this, and come on, it has all these extra meanings to it. Like there's an actually just by the people's names, there's this line of events that it's like as each person passed, you know what I'm saying? It was like they were the time lock to the times of the flood. Uh, and it says, and I think it's in Ju or it's in Jasher, and it says that Noah went around and he was actually like this guy telling everyone, like basically he didn't just work on the ark, he also was running around telling everyone that the world was end. He was like Chicken Little, like telling everyone the world's gonna end, man. But it wasn't coming for 120 years. Because I mean, Noah lived to be like 600 years old. So you know what I mean? It's like we don't understand that right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we just can't fathom that because it's too hard for us to comprehend. Because all we have ever known is this what's man's like now. We know, when we had our life capped off, but there was a time when people were I'm not sure how to explain it. What do you want to say? Better, stronger, or maybe it's not. It only seems that way. It's almost like back in the day, people's life got played on regular speed. Like when you're watching a VCR tape. Our lives have been played on fast forward for some reason to speed up the time, to hurry, to hasten the renewal by the Savior, by the Messiah, by the second coming of the Messiah. You know what I mean? Not the false Messiah, not the false global utopia project. I'm talking about real renewal. Like, look, like things almost being anew again. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna actually almost have to take that because a lot of us, man, it's just like if you look at the Exodus situation, it was horrible, man, to see people stumbling at uh being content with being free. They would stumble at it, they murmured, they were plotting. It was horrible situation. I had anxiety the whole time listening to numbers because it was just like there was this turmoil, and it really it was horrible. It was like almost watching someone beat themselves with the stick. Now I mean and then you could see the old story of Moses getting mad. You could see his frustration. Yeah, I mean it's not. You could see why he was frustrated because I mean if you really understand it and look at it, it's just and you feel it. it's like life now. It's like the truther movement, or even the church. The church is always fighting amongst itself. It's like the feet want to trip over each other. You know that both hands want to pick, both pointer fingers want to pick the same nostril at the same time. Sometimes it feels like, or it. But this is something we got to work through. You know what I'm saying? It's part of patience and long suffering and brotherly love. You actually have to learn it and learn how to apply it. And the best way, I guess, is to be amongst the stubborn. You know what I mean? And Jesus too was just among some stubborn people. And there's many times you see that reflected where he was like, dang, what's it gonna take? For you people to get it. And it's almost like, and he's also, this is almost like someone who like knows that you in a way are capable of knowing some of this stuff. So it's kind of frustrating that that like people frustrate you, that they're just, it's difficult. It's called thorn in your side. Like people that are non-cooperative, or just sometimes just evil and out to get you. That's called the thorn in your side. We all have that. We're all gonna face that. That's part of being in this anyway. It says we're gonna face persecution, and I mean people are just gonna hate us for just for no reason, without cause. And it's just happened to the prophets. It's gonna happen to us, man. It happened to the apostles. Uh, happened to Jesus. And God is mocked, or I mean, God is not mocked, but people mock him, and they hate and discriminate and just slander, misrepresent, and it's crazy how much hate the word generates. I mean, you can see how it works in people's lives. Just does wonderful things, and then there's just another side of people that are just it's got to be supernatural demonization how bad they hate it. Because here's the thing. It's like, listen, I know Scientology is a cult, and I know about it. I'm not for it. I'm pretty much against it, but yet I don't constantly hound these people. I might mention it once in a while when it's relevant to a certain topic, like interrogation manuals. But besides that, man, you only need to speak on something so many times, and it's just like, look, it's whipping the dead horse. And I see a lot of us out here, and for the sake of people, we keep whipping on the dead horse. And God with us, we were that dead horse. I know that for sure, when I was playing the devil's game of chicken. You know what I'm saying? And it's fun and exciting at first, and it's almost like gambling. You win at first, but then after a while, man, it gets terrifying, and you start to pay heavier tolls and heavier tolls, and and then it's, if you try to quit the game of chicken, it's like all these supernatural forces that thrive off the chaos. They don't like it that that you're not participating in the dang game no more, so that then they start to gremlin your life a little bit here and there. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, but and one of the things these things are trying to do is they're trying to get you to prematurely take yourself out. You know what I'm saying? It's weird like that, but this dude Methuselah, I think it's I'm not sure if it's Noah's dad or his uncle or something, but this dude Methuselah, when Methuselah died, it was a few days later, like a week later or something, then the flood started. And that was what his name meant, was like when he passes, then the I think the renewal shall come, or the redeeming, or something to that effect. And last year, listen, my aunt, she passed away, and it seemed like when she after she passed away, man, all this like weird prophetic stuff started happening to me in a faster, more strong, more accurate, and just it's strange because it didn't never happen before she died, but after she died, uh, I don't know, something like I keep seeing this combination lock where there's just certain factors, they're up in the air. It's just like, the day and the time is not known. It's just like that, dude. It's not necessarily fixed, but yet there's still a time frame that it's in flux, man. I mean, the space time continuum, I guess, is in flux, man. It's not set at any point. It's kind of strange, man. It don't make total sense to me yet, but it's kind of like somehow we all die at different times, but yet we all end up on the other side at the same time. It would feel, and how could that even be done? But I feel like in that situation with Methuselah, that certain people, elders, family members, there's only so many of us left in the earth that we're on a time frame. As we die, it brings forth the apocalypse. That's exactly what it says. Once the persecution begins, when they start to purge the Christians and kill the church and cut their heads off for the testimony, it propels forth the judgment that comes on the people. You know what I'm saying? Because them themselves, if they would have just let the people live, the judgment wouldn't have came. So some of us out here, the devil tries real hard to just get us to either, if you can't get us to take yourself out, just distraction is pretty good, because you're just kind of running on the rat wheel in a state of kind of purgatory, of spiritual purgatory, or on stasis, which is just, it's almost like dead, no activity, atrophy. It's crazy out here, man. But if you don't want to die before your time, because you never know. You might be the reason why things are still held back for others. I mean, I didn't recognize this, how important it kind of is. Like, there's a time and a reason, and certain things transpire as the generations rise and end, and then new ones sprout from the old ones, and some things combine, some things separate, but it's just something, I wasn't aware of none of this stuff. And now all of a sudden, it's like there's just all this evidence, and to me, empirically, that I'm seeing in my life, and it's undeniable, and it's worthy of looking at and pondering on, because it's there's almost examples of it in the Bible. Like, if for those who've been lucky enough to have a deeper kind of study of what it really is, man, what the information really is, like Bible code. You look into the Bible code, and it's got to be supernaturally done, how the Bible's written in such a manner where it's coded. It's coded through the whole, the first 5 books, but I'm sure there's more code. But that's even something, like it says, seal up the scroll, Daniel. It's for another time. And potentially, maybe this is what this is. It's like a quantum level algorithm hidden in the Bible that could only be unlocked once the man had the help of the computer. And there's other texts as well. This is part of the unlocking of the everything hidden shall be revealed. We have access to it, and this helps. You know what I'm saying? Put it all together for any individual. and it's pretty liberating at the moment, but it's gonna bring upheaval, man.